how you start drafting. I think that very much can change. As far as it goes, having higher mobility is a no-brainer right now, because they're really, really struggling to give Unimportant the room to work with. If that doesn't come from picking a melee, ooh, 2 Iva bans again.
The double Iva ban again, there we go. So no one wants to see any Iva anymore. We hate Zappies.
I don't want to see any Iva.
Get my Zappies out of my Battlerite. We don't want it.
Iva's just objectively the best support because she can do all the things.
She's a support now.
Yes, that's what I mean. Just like Pearl is objectively the best melee character.
Well, I mean, look, SIGH's going to pick up Ulrich.
Not trip you up at all. Okay.
No, I'm good, man. I roll right through it, baby. Atrocity Exhibition picking up Jumong this
This
time.
like last time.
This might be a little bit last time, but August 21st going to rock Rygon instead. Destiny on the side of SIGH. Oh, unless we're saying that they're switched again. Are they switched again? Probably not.
Probably not.
No, they're not switched.
The Rygon coming through is interesting because it does give the opportunity to find more consistent pressure. Atrocity Exhibition, like we said, one of their big stellar marks was they were finding consistent pressure, and they try and change that by swapping Unimportant, like I said, to a more mobile DPS, in this case, Destiny. That's not a whole lot more mobile, and it specifically may struggle against a Rygon dive.
I think that, look, this next restriction is going to be huge. I think that you get out. There it is. You get out Rygon. You do not want Rygon with this composition on the side of SIGH with Ulrich and Destiny. That is so much pressure. I mean, Ulrich is so versatile as a support, and Lucy gone on the side of Atrocity Exhibition.
I whispered Rukon into the microphone.
You want Rukon?
I do.
You want Rukon?
I do.
What you got for me? What you
didn't expect to want Rukon.
SIGH Rukon?
But I bet they could run it and find a lot of burst damage.
Give me Blossom. Give me a Blossom right now on Atrocity Exhibition. I would love Blossom on this comp. Give it to me. Give me the treat. Give me the treat, lady. Give me Bambi.
So Atrocity. Wow, that's a lot of childhood trauma that you just brought. Okay.
Yeah.
Atrocity Exhibition do have an interesting composition in that so far they have a really aggressive front line and then a very defensive back line. So you kind of, like you see here, need to bridge that difference. I wanted to see a Rukon. Rook is close enough. You do a frontline burst, the stuns will be a big aid, and if he can hold back the Rygon, if he can stem the tide, then I think they have the game. It is all on that melee matchup for me.
I love this comp from Atrocity Exhibition. I love when anyone's going for the super combos, which is Jumong and Uldor. You can just hit massive damage with both of those. We always, as we always joke, Uldor is a DPS disguised as a support.
Yes, and that's not a joke, that's just true.
It's just a fact. But I like it. I like the pressure, the amount of pressure that Atrocity Exhibition has on this comp, but I think that SIGH is going to meet it. This is actually like aggression versus aggression right now.
This is going to be
It's pretty hype. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's good to see.
So, I'm gonna stop you real quick. They're switched.
Remember what I asked if they were switched?
So right. No.
So the Ulrich is good to see because that does give them the frontline dive again, and we know they play a good Ulrich over on Atrocity Exhibition, which is again on the red side. SIGH, by contrast, now need to benefit from having this Rygon, and that to me comes in the form of dive. This means they did not switch Unimportant between his characters. They keep Unimportant on that Jumong.
Yeah. Well, we're on Sky Ring Night, TJ, for map number 2, Atrocity Exhibition. Wanting to get this again, this is the deciding round. It's going to be, it's a fight, especially in these win score 5s, which a single map can feel like such a grind in this, especially if you have another series like that goes 8 games, 9 games, every single map. And if SIGH takes this next round, now you're talking about 4 maps going this long, and this is where it starts to grate, especially if you're SIGH. You just got done playing Space Station Gaming, which had to be a little disheartening with how one-sided it felt.
Well,
and now you're against Atrocity Exhibition. You feel like you have a chance here against them, and it's gonna be a tough road.
I want a BBM. They don't have to worry the way this game is going.
Oh, well, you heard it. You heard it
might
from
be
TJ,
over quick.
I think that you could see trades happening both ways. Again, at the highest level of play in Battlerite, it always comes down to how teams adjust mid-game, how they adjust to what the enemy is doing, how to play against that, how to punish how to punish the other team for what they're doing, what's working, and then using that to your advantage. That is the mark of any competitive esport, is how do you adapt? Can you be adaptive?
The Rygon actually raises an interesting question for me now that we've fully established the team rosters. Do you think this Rygon versus Destiny matchup is going to go well?
I like Destiny against Rygon just because there's so much peel against it. You have the counter, obviously, but then you have a big stun, you have a big damage ability, and it's just kind of scary. If you bait out Rygon's parry, what is he going to do against Destiny?
So I kind of still think Atrocity Exhibition have got their ideal draft, because they have the backline, they swap out the Jumong for the Destiny, but they still have backline DPS, more CC than ever with the ability, with the lockdown. Then they still have the frontline Rook, who's doing insane, gross things. And then they still have the backline Ulrich, who's doing insaner, grosser things. So, I think Atrocity Exhibition kind of have won the draft again. And if SIGH want to turn this around, it needs to be constant pressure from the Rygon, winning that Destiny fight, which you just posited they won't.
I do not think they will. I think that it's a solid pick on the other side. I do think that there's big potential because you also have Uldor, which can just be really good at shifting things in your favor. No pun intended with shifting sands, but I like the combo potential with Jumong and Uldor. I think that there is huge amount of pressure, and it can be tough for Destiny. We saw that it's so easy when you looked at Crooks' Destiny, how easy it was to punish. And that's exactly what Atrocity Exhibition were able to do in that game. But I think that with Destiny, if you can just force out that ball, it's going to be hard for Destiny to escape. So I think that yes, while Destiny does kind of have an upper hand against Rygon, it's going to be difficult to avoid the rest of the team.
Well, we'll have to see. For me, I think, like I said, I do favor Atrocity Exhibition, but the win conditions are shutting down not the Destiny but the Ulrich. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because instead of focusing in on the Destiny, who has a ton of utility to survive, and can be quite easily protected by Rook-Ulrich combo, if you can isolate that Ulrich, make him miss and intervene...
Ulrich's also pretty difficult to isolate, so...
Yeah, that is the problem.
It's a tough composition to work against, for sure.
If he misses one intervention, though,
yes,
you can find major opportunities, major burst, and like you said, they have combo potential.
I love combos, CJ. Combo City is what I want to see. These are going to be quick games. Very aggressive. And map number 2, again, Atrocity Exhibition took the first one. It wasn't so easy. And if you're just tuning in, let me tell you a little bit of something. This has been a very good matchup so far, the most competitive one we've had today. And how fitting for it to be for the last deciding round to get into the playoffs.
That was a lot of something.
It is everything.
And we'll have to see if they can make it happen. SIGH coming through as, I would say, the favorites, just from their position on the bracket and the seeding. Really kind of struggling so far in this game. They've looked like underdogs. And I don't know what about, but I called it.
Did call it. It was, again, SIGH beat Atrocity Exhibition in the regular season. And I think that with the IVA ban, I remember this game, and I remember watching and just being like, unimportant is unbeatable on IVA, and you take the IVA out of unimportant, and you might be able to choke SIGH out in this game.
I don't think there's a B. Either way, we're into game number 1. SIGH will be pushing ever further forward here. I want to see them play a more aggressive look, but you don't have to if they come to you.
Yeah, they're going straight in. SIGH trying to respond here.
Trying being the operative word. No major ground gained. And this first orb coming up is when you need to be gaining that ground. Now, they do lock down the Rook. August takes a ton of damage, but there is the response.
Oh, yeah, and Arcadian in a lot of trouble. He's got to get out. They did get big damage onto August 21st.
Dragon Slayer?
Push through, does he get it?
That's a good land.
He gets it again, moving it around. A great land, as you said.
And now August is playing and has to play much more defensive. This orb is going to be harder to contest, and it is picked up by SIGH. This is their round to lose.
Oh, Arcadian had to get out of harm's way real quick. He does. Up at the top now, Atrocity Exhibition. A solid spot. Freak wants to go in. He actually gets a good hit onto Unimportant. Unimportant stun. Big damage from Destiny. Unimportant didn't get that didn't get the kill, if you will.
Oh, good orb.
On to them, but Atrocity Exhibition do get that orb.
The combo they keep doing, lockdown into Boulder, it's kind of the most basic Rook Destiny combo, but the lockdown stuns you if you go outside of the glowy circle, the Boulder pushes you out of the glowy circle, and it's a very easy, consistent stun to land.
Flappy Penguin just missing those big M2s that
this
do a lot of damage. A huge stun going right in on it. That could be dangerous. Arcadian in trouble. Actually turned it right back around.
The orb pickup.
Flappy Penguin, he goes down, and a turnaround for SIGH. Freak in trouble now. He's gonna go down, and SIGH turned it around, and they take game one.
Dexarian, I think, can recast the Aegis. He doesn't get the chance, but he swallowed it up with his time bender. That was a very good round, won by careful defensive play from SIGH. Because right off the bat, you saw how well the aggression was working. When August overextends, when he overstays his welcome, they have an instant punish. They body blocked him so he couldn't retreat. That was the thing that blew my mind. They know that he wants to retreat, get back to the orb, so they say, okay, I'll take the damage now just to make you stay here with us.
Just stay here because I want to touch you a little bit. Well, that sounds...
Okay.
Hey, TJ, right back into it. Atrocity Exhibition want to fight back. And Arcadian has done well today.
I bet we don't see nearly as much aggression from August. Still, though, definitely suffering in the early phase, but they do manage to wall off the opponents and go for this orb. Very default Atrocity Exhibition style with a little bit less pressure.
Well, the Atrocity Exhibition, again, they like putting a lot of pressure on there. They are getting good damage out, going right on the Dexarian, but he gets pushed up, and good job kiting away by Dexarian. Some energy
Aegis
on this side. The Aegis coming through, but now turning right back into Dexarian. He's taking a lot of damage here. Has to get out of it, and he does, but not before he took a ton of damage. Time warp coming through. Not time warp, time travel.
Oh, but that's big.
Save
It works well.
First, and Flappy Penguin taking a lot of damage. SIGH turning this around quickly.
Because they get that time travel ult combo, they find a lot of value and they time it for when the rotate's coming through for the orb, when there is separation built in, because Flappy Penguin is watching the front line while the orb is picked up.
It is about only, well, now it's a 15% health difference, but not major. Flappy Penguin has been boxed out of every fight. And Freak separated here from August 21st. Does find him able to reposition. Freak trying to find his way in against Dexarian. They want to aggress here. Flappy Penguin can't find the damage out, but they do get the stun.
Orb.
A little bit of damage. Arcadian wants to hop in there. They don't get the orb.
August is so low.
And Battlerite, they can get the kill on Flappy Penguin. He does have ult available, but he's going to roll out. He's out of health, out of time, and he is gone. He goes down for Atrocity Exhibition.
They get that ult intentionally over to the Rook, but they will never get a chance to use it as the time travel combo comes through, and it stuns for decades.
SIGH coming up big. Dexarian doing a great job of relieving pressure on the side of SIGH, keeping Atrocity Exhibition at bay, and they get their second win because of it.
And if you're a fan of this red side, you can take a big sigh of relief right now.
Absolutely.
Because this is a much better look for them. This is what they were showing up against their previous opponents in Space Station Gaming. The question is, does an adaptation come through? They've made some notable shifts. It does change how the map is playing out, particularly the Older is finding a lot more damage on the front lines. Do we see a shift in focus over to Dexarian?
Well, trying to push towards Arcadian. He actually turns right back around on to Unimportant, but Unimportant able to get out, had all of the defensive cooldowns available, and SIGH don't have control of this orb, but they do get it coming in and stealing it away. Arcadian so good at just leaping in and getting those orbs.
Very, very low HP now onto August as he continues to play back. The healing's coming through, keeping him at about half, and they do still have the opportunity to contest these orbs, but for the first time, the control is not guaranteed.
Good stun just to keep them out. They want to get this next orb, and he's immediately going to turn around on the Berserk. Does he get the confirm? He does. Atrocity Exhibition right back in it in the energy game.
Time travel will come through. That's an in-cap combo. Quicksand as well. He is almost gone. Barely. Does the old Ulrich survive?
Ulrich able to stay alive barely and trying to keep up August 21st, doing as much healing as possible, but he took massive damage from the rain of arrows and he goes down. And SIGH fighting right back. It's like map one never happened. It's 3-0.
The ability for that combo, you use the Dragon Slayer, and instantly the Radiant Shield needs to come through just to stop the Dragon Slayer from doing devastating damage. That means he has to stand, bathe in the rain of arrows.
Yeah.
Because he can't bring an umbrella, because the only thing he has to do is stop that Dragon Slayer. So either way you lose. Arguably just as much damage comes through.
Yeah, Unimportant brought his umbrella piercing arrows, and there's no saving him from that. So
I think all
yeah, well, Atrocity Exhibition now down 3-0 in this, and this is a completely different SIGH team than what we saw. This is kind of what we saw flashes of in their match against Space Station Gaming. They're just never able to get it to fruition, and a huge parry against August 21st. SIGH will not let up.
That was a major interception. He tried to rush in, and there was already a Tremor waiting for him.
Fought back out. August 21st wants to get aggressive here. He misses the stun. Is forced back out again. So August 21st, usually pretty solid on Rook, just hasn't been able to find any kind of room. They actually get a big stun. Never mind. That's a lot of damage. Arcadian lost all of his health. They want to aggress back onto it. Maybe turn back onto Dexarian. Can't find it. Coming right back around. Unimportant. Rooted, but pushed back out. Losing this trade against Destiny. And you split the post there, just missing the big damage.
Watch out for the top, though. You can see Freak taking major chunk as he tries to retreat there. This is how SIGH work their way back into the round. I said focus the Ulrich. They've done a good job of that so far. Keeping him low reduces his mobility greatly.
Time travel gets the stun on the August 21st, but there's no follow-up right there. Arcadian wants to aggress here against August 21st, gets the stun, but Ulrich's right there. He's got to get away from this. It's not solid for him. He goes down, and it was a good petrify on Flappy Penguin. Doesn't matter. Atrocity Exhibition got the kill onto Arcadian, and they're going to take this round.
SIGH puts so much focus over on the left side of the screen. Literally, their entire team is over there. And you lose everything because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly how you fight back, and it was a good job by August 21st, and then Freak recognizing what was going on. He's like, no, we have this kill on Arcadian. If I go over here, and there was no trouble at all. Flappy Penguin was just left alone, and we're like, yeah, we got the kill, easy.
And now you're sitting in a situation where they're back on the board. Has the beast awakened?
It is very possible, and it can be your mental state at this point. It's like, okay, we won the first 3 games, you're feeling good. And then if you're Atrocity Exhibition, it's like, all right, we lose again, and then you win, you're like, oh, okay, we can play. We can play. It's no problem.
And whether or not they're able to double down on that could mean a lot. If it's an instant shutdown, maybe right back where we started.
Fight here in the back. Freak in a little bit of trouble. Freak taking a ton of damage.
Couldn't cap.
Much. Could not
Good
do it.
combo.
Wrecked him, but then they traded damage on the side of Dexarian.
Dexarian solo after that initial exchange. He's going to try for this orb and is unable to get it. Atrocity Exhibition locking it down, and that may be devastating.
It could be. Freak took a lot of damage early. Arcadian wants to finish it off, but they're not going to get it. He's right next to Flappy Penguin. Gets some damage off on the top side. We see August 21st wants to put pressure on Dexarian.
Time travel.
A lot of harass on the
parry stun.
Going down. Atrocity Exhibition is in trouble, and Ulrich goes down. Freak can't stay alive. Flappy Penguin can't stay alive, and SIGH takes it to match point here in map number 2.
Remember when I said the focus on the Ulrich is going to decide this match? And you called me crazy. You're like, that's not, Ulrich's impossible to focus. They're making it happen. They're making it happen, Jorby. Because they're consistently separating the teammates. They're not giving Freak allies to use his intervention onto, and then they always have large AoE punish whenever he does try and commit.
Well, you said these games were going to be quick. They have been quick, but it's been a little one-sided here so far for SIGH.
I knew the rounds were going to be quick. I didn't expect the game to be.
Yeah. Well,
this is definitely a much better look for SIGH than I thought possible, to be honest.
This next game, Atrocity Exhibition, going to look to fight back.
Combo onto Unimportant, scare him back, but then reset. Don't allow this punish to come through onto the Rook, because that's consistently what's happening.
Oh my
goodness, it's creating weakness.
Annihilated. They're going to put pressure on him. He has no health left. Unimportant trying to stay alive, but there's big damage now onto Dexarian. Big target switch for Flappy Penguin. He's trying to get back around. He stays alive, but Atrocity Exhibition will not go quietly.
It's a good first engage from Atrocity, but again, they don't have a good disengage strategy, and so many cooldowns on SIGH are being saved for that precise moment. Time travel.
Time travel. This could be big. He gets the double stun. They got to get a lot of damage off here. They get a little bit on Flappy Penguin, but it's not enough.
Unimportant goes down. That's a very good push from August. That may have kept his team alive.
And now Atrocity Exhibition fighting back. It's gonna be a long road here in map number 2, but it looks like they're going to do it here. They can get a big combo out. Freak's not gonna let that happen. Gonna keep himself alive and just get that confirmed kill onto Uldor. Finish it off right onto Rygon, and Atrocity Exhibition again not out.
Not out, however, still against match points and currently only on 2 rounds. There's a long way to climb even in this individual match.
Yes, and you got to fight back. And SIGH, I mean, this is only to tie the series up for them.
Yes.
Atrocity Exhibition just wants to get to match point real quick and take these first 2 maps. So they're going to fight back in this series. You don't want to have to play a whole nother map to try to win this game. It will get taxing on your mental state, but good play.
We're back into it. SIGH, can you defend against that initial rush? Because it just found so much value. Arcadian's going more aggressive, specifically to kind of cut them off at the pass, and this is allowing this flank to come through, yielding big damage from the destiny of Flappy Penguin.
He's going to get more damage out here. Maybe no. Arcadian able to block it out. Atrocity Exhibition getting the first orb. Damage coming out onto
time
Freak,
travel,
but he's able to get away. The
it's
time
wide.
travel getting no value at all. He's going to push right through. Actually, a lot of damage coming out onto August 21st. He's in danger here. Maybe trying to find his way back to Freak. Get the right to try to displace. Can't do it. Does eventually maybe get back. He's in such trouble here. They need to get in here and bail him out. It could be deadly. The rain of arrows going to knock him out. And SIGH say no. We're going to go to at least map number 4. Freak goes down. The only one left is Flappy Penguin. And SIGH with a big response for this last game of map 2.
Every time Arcadian manages to find that punish, it's insane. Every time there's insane aggression coming through and August is just hard punished for it, that's almost ideal. That's the dream scenario.
That was and a great response afterwards. You had, like you said, August 21st isolated, gone, and you couldn't get back at all. And Freak was in a very dangerous position where he didn't have his intervention to get back to August 21st because he already used it.
Yes.
And there was nothing that he could do.
And the fact that they consistently managed to just shut down the pressure in whatever form it took. Sometimes it was Flappy Penguin finding the damage, he would get pushed back. Sometimes it was an insane Ulrich rush. That's how we got in the situation where the Ulrich was being consistently threatened.
Yeah.
Is because the